Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen, and in today's video, we're gonna work on our deck area. I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance on some plants. I have a couple of annual plants right here, and there are a few dead spots and a few areas that do need to be trimmed up. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm going to go ahead and trim these hanging baskets up. Then I'm going to give them a really good feed with some Proven Winners fertilizer. I've been using this fertilizer for the first time this year, and I gotta say I really like it. It is a water-soluble fertilizer that you are to use on annuals. And so far I'm really liking the results, especially with how windy and how rainy the weather has been. When the plants seem to be a little bit more beaten down than normal, when I give them a good feed, they pop right back up and reflush. So let's go ahead and start pruning up these annuals. Don't know if you can see, but I do have a dead spot right here. I have one petunia that completely bit the dust. Oh, there we go. I pulled it right out. So I have a container right over there. I'm going to dump all the debris in. And that is all I'm going to do for this container. I'm going to set it aside and get the next one. Okay, now here is the next one, and it is looking a little bit leggy. You can see right here, I have a whole bunch of new growth because this plant was so stressed with all of the heat. It just started to defoliate, but with the fertilizer that I've been using, I've really been able to get it to bounce back. What I'm going to do, because we are in the very beginning of July and it's time, I'm going to come through this particular plant and I'm going to trim the whole thing back. This is called a rejuvenation prune, where you just are cutting back all the foliage to promote new growth. I don't love doing this task because it feels so sad to cut everything back, but it really is a necessary step. You can see right here's a whole bunch of stressed foliage and leaves. When I purchased these plants, they were hit by a really bad storm, so it took a couple weeks to get them to bounce back, and they're looking amazing compared to what they were when I bought them. But just to make sure that we're going to get a beautiful new flush of blooms, I'm going to cut this back. So this step is just to reduce legginess, and we want the plant to be more full here, and you can see right now my plant is more full here. So by cutting it back, we're going to actually force this section to grow and produce and fill out. Okay, and right here, I didn't even notice this until right now, here is a stem that has completely died. I'm going to cut this all the way back at the base. Not really worrying about where I cut. I'm just grabbing handfuls of the plant and whacking it back. Okay, that one's done. Repeat the same process 2 more times. So the next couple of days, no thunderstorms, no rain. It's a miracle. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take these containers and kind of place them where I want them, and then I'll give them a good feed. just kidding. Before I get everything placed, I'm going to pull some of the topsoil out of the one container, put it in another container, because I do want to transplant this Japanese maple tree into a container just to hold it over for the summer. And I'll explain why in a couple minutes. Let me get the dirt out first. Now we can mix up the fertilizer. All over the place this evening. I can't seem to focus. Okay, so for this fertilizer, you just mix it up according to the instructions. Now my stuff has gotten quite wet and lumpy because I had it sitting outside in a rainstorm by accident, even though I had the lid on it. I think it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's get this Japanese maple planted in its temporary container. The reason that I'm going to move it into a temporary container is just because I feel like it, and I have the dirt and the space to do so. I want it to acclimate on my deck because this does require a little bit more shade initially until it gets established. So I want to acclimate it on my deck and then eventually plant it right off the deck where it is a little more sunny. Let me show you. I'm thinking right where that grass is, that would be a perfect place for this Japanese maple to live, but I won't be planting it into the ground until the fall. It is way too hot right now to put something that needs a little more shade in such a sunny location. First step is to remove the weeds at the base of the plant, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of weeds in this container. So it is really, really good that I decided to move this into a different container. Some of the container soil has washed away. It is exposing the root ball. So it's actually a really good thing to get this transplanted up right now into its temporary home. All right, we need a little more soil. Make sure that you're tamping down the soil really well so there's no air pockets around the root ball. Okay, I'm gonna get this plant into place. Now the chair that we use the least is that one right there. Therefore, the tree is gonna go right there. Perfect. Okay, now as you can see, it's leaning. Oh, right here it is. I have this floral tapey stuff. I'm gonna retie it to the stake. It's still leaning a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. We can get it staked up properly once it's in the ground. Okay, time to water it in. Because there is so many weed spores still left in this root ball, and because it is in a smaller container, I figured I would top dress it with just a little bit of mulch to help keep the moisture in and keep the weeds at bay. Here it is, all mulched up. I think it looks really cute on the deck. Good holding spot until it gets planted out in the landscape. time to clean the table, I always keep a bottle of cleaner and some paper towels handy out on the deck, so whenever there's a mess, I can easily clean it up. Okay, here is the deck oasis, all tidied up, all spruced up, as decorated as I think it's going to get for this season. I have most of my houseplants outside. I did bring a little bit of metal decor outside as well. And one essential that we love to have is this cooler. Now, this is a fancier cooler. You don't have to have something this fancy, but having some sort of a place to keep your drinks cold, especially on a super hot sunny day, is amazing. I love that we bought the cooler, and every single year we put it out underneath the canopy. And we usually keep it stocked with a whole bunch of cold drinks, especially if we know we're going to be working outside in the garden. And I like to have a container of some sort that has a bottle opener. And actually I have some power washer plugs in the bottom of there. But just in case, if somebody doesn't want to use that bottle opener over there, there's that bottle opener right here. I also keep coasters tucked underneath this little metal stand. These are the 4 little coasters that I bought in Lancaster, and I'm definitely going to buy more when I go back. I love these. They're like hand woven. They're just so sweet. So I like to have a couple coasters on hand. My table is by no means super clean. There's rust, there's scratches, but sometimes, I don't know, having a coaster just makes it feel like you care a little bit more about your area, even if it is outside and there are rust stains on the table. I bought this coffee crate 27 years ago, and it now lives outside. I have a little bit of decor to make it look a little more cozy and homey. And of course, here is our beautiful tree that we just planted up together. Here is the view from our deck. It's gonna go from shade into a lot of sunlight. Over here is where we set up all these annual containers after we did some maintenance on them. And peeking right over the railing is our water fountain. And I think the sound of water is just so soothing and so inviting. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I had fun making this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.